Hi there, my name is Chris Cann with Aspermont and MiningNews.net, and we're here at Mining News Select in Perth, and with me I have Faye Longmuir, who's with Canaccord Genuity. Great to have you with us, Faye. I wanted to ask you firstly about commodity picks at the moment. Obviously you're looking across the spectrum. What looks good for you?
Well, obviously lithium's had a bit of a tough 6 months, and I think that's largely to do with the pricing around lithium, going from sort of $8,000 at its peak down to a lower. I think it looks a little bit like iron ore 20 years ago in terms of it's got to find that natural equilibrium of price where China's just not dictating what they're prepared to pay. It's what the genuine market value is. I think a lot of these problems get solved in the back half of this year with interest rates coming lower now that inflation looks to be tamed, as it were. So I think we solve for those. So I think lithium is one of those ones that I think looks better because when we look at the demand, we just can't see where the demand stops. It's just going to keep growing with things like AI, with the growth of India, which is probably about 20 years behind where China was. So there's just a lot of demand out there, so we really like lithium. Iron ore is always a common commodity. The world needs iron ore to grow, and if they keep having wars and blowing things up, they've got to rebuild.
Sure.
Yeah, so we like iron ore. Copper is probably one that's come back into favour this year. Amazing, and obviously copper is the most conductive sort of mineral, if you like. So that's always going to be the best one to use. But I guess where we could see some supply shortages in copper, you've got things like aluminium that might need to be used to sort of pick up the slack there. But all those battery metals are the ones that we're seeing, all the rare earths that go into all the, if you like, the transition of energy, they're all the ones we like.
Okay, and as a wealth advisor,
yes,
people are asking you for that advice, specifically on how they invest. What would you say is the most common or the most useful piece of advice that you've been giving out in the past 6 months?
Well, I think the most useful piece is that you really need to go into the producer end and probably steer clear a little bit of the explorer end because that's where it's dangerous. So if the mining company is producing and they're at the lowest cost quartile, then that's a good start. And then if you're going to go into the explorers, you want the latest stage possible because the cycle can turn very quickly.
Okay, and this is your first Mining News Select Perth. What do you make of it?
Oh, I think conferences like this are essential to not only the mining community but our economy in general because this is where you get a balanced view on how the mining industry contributes to the overall economy. And you know, if we just left it to the tabloids, we'd be going from one soundbite to the next.
And key takeaways, there's been a full day of content, panels, pictures. Anything stuck with you? Yes,
we're in good hands. I feel like there's a lot of really sharp minds out there and we're going to solve for some of these problems, and Western Australia still is a great place to do mining.
Faye, thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us.
Pleasure.